Reflects the weather forecasts, surveys of the wedge's movement, and the benefits from an underwater sill.
So the saltwater is already impacting Boothville, Port Sulphur, and Point Allahatchie, and the toe of the wedge is now expected to make its way to Belle Chase by October 13th, Dalcour on the 17th, and St. Bernard by October 28th. Beyond that, the predictions and these projections are outside the National Weather Service's forecast, but predict the wedge could make it to Algiers by November 23rd and then Gretna by the 26th, a notable delay compared to earlier predictions.
But the most encouraging projection is that surface water salt concentrations will remain below the recommended levels for intakes in East and West Jefferson and the Carrollton intake in New Orleans. It means local governments now have some breathing room, but they will continue to plan. Chris Welty was at this afternoon's news conference and joins us live now with more.
The Army Corps says while the updated timeline is good news, it's important to continue mitigation planning. Thanks to mitigation measures, the saltwater wedge is static, ultimately giving communities along the river more time to prepare for potential impacts.
Taken some time there as it's been filling in a very deep pocket in the river to the tune of negative 120 feet. And over that time, we've been able to learn a lot more about how the saltwater wedge acts above the sill.
We really haven't had much rain across the region recently, so really what changed to help improve the timeline?
So when you look at what has changed across the timeline is, number one, we beat the original forecast of flows as we increase the height of the sill there. So we're getting an additional speed bump there. We've got higher flows than expected through September and a little bit better than where we were originally thinking we were going into October.
In Jefferson Parish, contractors will continue laying flexible pipe, leaders not wanting to get caught flat-footed.
And we want to see if it works. We don't want to go through all this effort. We've been working on this for the better part of 2.5 weeks. We're already there.
Orleans Parish is grateful to have more time and is rebidding plans for the East and West Banks.
No plans are being canceled. In fact, it's the quite opposite. So again, this gives us time for more planning what we need to do.
As the region continues to take a united approach, the goal remains the same.
To maintain as close as possible the normal operations of our water treatment facilities and drinking water capabilities across this impacted area.
Tonight at 5, we'll take you to Plaquemines Parish to show you the latest on what they're doing to combat the saltwater wedge. Reporting live at the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, Chris Welty, Fox 8 Local First.